On this episode, I sit down with the kind, quirky, and resilient Christina. Like me, she's a personal trainer, and all she expects from you is that you show up and be 2% better than you were yesterday. Why 2%? Well, it's better than 1%, and that's how she was raised. You see, she was surrounded by a strong family that faced their fair share of adversities. But they prevailed, teaching her that head down, grind it out attitude she was going to need to compete in the current sport of competitive figure. We also talk about how it's not weird to shave down thin layers off the top of things like peanut butter in a jar. Let's jump in.
Hey, everybody. This is a moderately good podcast, and I am Scotty. And before we get started, I'm going to do my regular shout outs that I kind of do, and we got some new ones in the chamber. First, my guy that does my lighting and camera and editing and cool pictures and all that stuff. It's Above Average Joe. You can find him on Instagram at Above Average Joe. My guy, Jaron, his Instagram is No Names Originals, and he does custom clothing and bleaching, really cool stuff. I've worn stuff on the podcast, and he's got cool stuff on his Instagram. He also does art and stuff too. This is really, really cool. My guy, Mo, it's the Go Bubble app. It is a detailing service to your home, so you don't have to go anywhere. I mean, at some point, we're not to go anywhere for anything because everything will just come to your house. But now you have a detailing service. And then last but not least, as you noticed, my last guest, she was the owner of The Body Rebuilder, and that is a massage, a physical therapy place. They're doing really great stuff over there. So definitely look her up on Instagram. You can find it at The Body Rebuilder. Guys, this is two girls in a row. Like I'm on a roll of having diversity on my podcast. So this is awesome. So everybody say hi to Christina. Christina, say hi.
Hi.
How are you doing?
Awesome. How are you?
Good. So the podcast, normally what we do is like, Jason, you have to edit that out. Edit out all this cost. Normally what we do is like we have dinner and stuff, but you're show prepping right now, right? Because you're going to do a competition, and this will be what number? How many of these have you done?
This will be number 10.
Okay. So I have two quick questions, just off the top.
Okay, got to be quick.
Okay. Well, I mean, we got plenty of time.
Do we?
Oh, no. Well, kind of. Okay. What is the worst part about show prep? Okay, that's cool. Well, we'll just start with that question. What's the worst part about show prep? Just so people can have an idea of, I mean, it's not an easy thing to do.
No.
And it's not an easy thing to do well. A lot of people do it, but they don't do it well. It's a very hard thing to do well, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It is, yes.
So what's the worst part of show prep for you?
For me, I would say the cardio.
What? Not the eating?
Not after doing it for I've been doing it since 2003. So it's been gosh, how long is that?
So what kind of so that's
18.
Yeah, like what kind of cardio do you have to do? Like is like are you doing a lot of slow cardio?
I mean depending on what coach you have, I mean, every coach is different. They usually mix it up, like where you'll do depending on your conditioning, where, visually on your assessments, where they see you, as far as where your physique is headed, if it's headed in the right direction, the wrong direction, or, is based on how much cardiovascular, or still not cardiovascular, that's not funny, how much cardio that you have to do. Like right now, the coach that I have, Coach Justin Horrell, he's out of Arizona, and he has me doing, it's 6 days a week of cardio, and it's not that excruciating at all. He wants me to make sure that I have moderate intensity in there to where I'm actually challenging myself, of course. And it's two times a week. I have HIIT about 25 minutes of high
You do that.
intensity
Do you
interval
do any of that
training.
fasted? Do you do any of your cardio fasted?
He actually doesn't have me doing fasted
I
cardio.
was just curious.
But yes, but previous
Because that would make
competitions.
me hate cardio as well. Like,
Right. Yeah. Well,
if I was
exactly.
hungry, you know what I mean?
Right. No. Like at previous in previous preps, then yes, I have. I was with Team Williams Fitness for the longest time. That was who I was with. I guess you saw my last pictures and
Yeah.
stuff like that. The last competition I did was in 2020, the Adela Garcia
So
Classic.
really quickly, what made you change? What made the coaching change? Why'd you fire your head coach?
Oh, I didn't fire him.
You just let him go easily?
No, not at
I'm just
all.
kidding.
No, not at all. Actually, unfortunately, I believe he's going in a different direction as far
Oh,
as
thank
a
God.
lot.
I thought
A
you were
lot
gonna
of
say like he
times.
passed away or something. I'd be like, God, I'm a jerk. Like, you know?
No. No. Trust me, I love Team Williams Fitness.
Yeah,
big
but I mean,
time.
you look great. So that's
Excuse me.
why. Well, that's why I asked, because I was like, you looked pretty good in those pictures, right?
Oh,
So
yeah.
like, why would you Why would you change your approach? But you're saying you kind of like had to, right?
Right. Well, basically, he's going in a different direction, I believe, with training and coaching.
I feel that. I totally feel
Well,
that.
I mean, I feel like it seems like he's more focusing more on his business and his clientele, and kind of getting away from the competition spotlight.
Well,
It appears.
I agree or disagree. It takes a special kind of trainer to train people for competitions as
Mhm.
well.
Right.
Like my kind of clientele, we do is probably as much mental as we do physical, right?
Mhm.
And dodge that mic, don't you dare hit it. But strength and conditioning coaches, I mean, it's intense. And then, for competitive bodybuilding and figure competitions, like
Right.
it's a different kind of coach. And I don't think I could coach like that. Like I couldn't. So, finding a good coach, I'm assuming, is really important too, right?
Right. Oh my gosh, it's extremely important.
So
Okay.
talk about,
all right.
okay. So you're a personal trainer.
Yes,
Right,
I'm a personal trainer. Mhm.
And I want to note this. You have a trainer, correct?
Yes, even
Okay, so-
trainers have trainers.
That's right. That's right.
That's
No.
right.
But I think that's very important for people to understand
Mhm.
that, you're kind of an expert in what you do, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you want to program for yourself all the time, or you don't want to be challenged by somebody else,
Oh,
or you don't
right.
want to push yourself harder.
Mhm.
You're always pushed harder by somebody else than you really can push yourself. I mean, you can push yourself
Right.
hard,
Right.
but somebody else will push you that much harder, right?
True.
So,
yes.
so you have to, so quickly do a quick shout out for all like your Instagrams and things like that, where people can find you if they want to personal train.
Oh, okay.
Unless you don't want.
Oh
fine.
no, of course.
Unless you're just, she's so busy. She's so busy. She's like, I don't have time for anybody.
Oh my gosh. So you can find me at, my personal Instagram is Christina_fitbod. And then my business account on Instagram is CM Fitness TX. And that's it.
CM Fitness TX.
Correct.
Right.
That's the name of my business as
Awesome.
well. Yeah.
And how is it going? Because you used to work at 24.
Of course.
Right? So
Yeah.
so we kind of
We
kind of
kind of-
cross paths a little bit,
Right.
right?
Mhm.
But it was at like different times, and so now you're out on your own.
Right.
How's it
Yeah.
going?
It's actually going really great.
It's great, right?
Like I freaking love it. It's I mean, of course, that first leap that you take, and you're like, should I do this? And I feel like COVID forced a lot of people. Even like there's a lot of people that have worked at 24 that have ventured out and gone on their own because of the pandemic as well.
It's really weird. It is a real leap of faith to kind of leave
Mhm.
somewhere that's providing clients and people and stuff like that. And we kind of got to make a choice, but those people didn't get to make a choice. It was like sink or swim, whoop, and they just jumped
Right.
off. I felt bad for them, you know what I mean?
Right.
Because, we had the option of doing more things, doing Zooms and all that kind of stuff.
Exactly.
And maybe they could have done that stuff, but then, it's
Mhm.
like, well, I'm working for this place and will I get in trouble and all those kinds of things. You know what I mean?
Right.
So,
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, anyways. All right.
No,
So
yeah.
that was question number one.
Okay. Question. All right.
Right,
Move
so-
on to question 2.
No, this
No,
I think this is an easy one. And I think
Okay.
that you'll have you'll probably have multiple examples. Okay.
Okay.
What's the most horrible pickup attempt that you have had happen to you at the gym? because I know the guys are they're just stupid. They just like, okay, hey guy, like you tell me if I'm right or wrong. Hey guys, don't necessarily try to like talk to a girl she's wearing headphones, right?
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Don't necessarily stop her from what she's doing so you can ask
Mhm.
her some dumb question or try to like hit on her, right?
Right.
So there's got to have been a guy that's made a horrible pass on you at the gym. I mean, you're a trainer, you're in them all the time.
I guess I don't know if it's necessarily stupid. It was more or less like wanting to train, like wanting to purchase personal training.
So he was willing to buy personal training like just to hang out with you?
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty good. I mean, you're dedicating to the role
Like,
there. Do you know what I mean? Like,
guess.
like
I'm
most guys are just like making like
wow.
dumb comments or just like they're doing the old thing like, hey, like take out your headphones. Yeah, hey, do you know where the men's locker room is? It's like, no, I'm not a man. I have no idea where the men's locker room is. Oh, okay. Okay, sorry to bother you. You know what I mean? Like it happens at my gym all the time.
I mean, maybe I think I've had somebody ask me like, hey, do you know where the deadlifting area is? And it's like we're only like 5 feet away from it. It's like, bro, it's like right over there.
It's like right
within
behind him.
walking.
It's right. It's right. You're right in front of it.
Well, you know where the deadlifting platform was, like at 24. I was on the second floor, and it's like I was by the chest press. Come on, dude.
So for reference,
it's like
hey,
it's right there.
so for reference of people that never been to this 20, they're like right next to each other. I mean, like literally, like
So I'd say, I mean,
he didn't even wait for you to move like over to the cardio equipment.
No.
Like he was like right next.
Yeah.
He'd have been better off going like.
I was like, just look to your left. He was right in front of me, and I was like, look to your left. It's about right over there, about 5-6 feet away.
It's just like, just right over over there.
Don't drop your weights. Thank you.
So what are some big things that you like preach to your clients that you really try to like kind of if you had to give like a little bit of advice on people that are really trying to get this whole fitness thing started, because every trainer has like a different approach, right?
Mm-hmm.
And some people relate to different approaches differently. And so I always like to, when I have trainers on or people that do fitness, I do like to ask questions around like how they are with their clients. So maybe someone is interested.
Yeah.
That say they just like, I'd never train with him because he's a guy. Well, you're a girl.
Right.
So maybe they feel differently. So what are some things that like you kind of preach to your clients that really help them be successful?
I think a lot of them get discouraged, especially when they've been at a previous fitness level, and they come back and they come back a couple years later to exercising, and they get their minds kind of stuck where they used to be.
Yeah.
And then it kind of, and the whole time they're beating themselves like up throughout the whole session. And you just got to like nip it right there and just say, hey, like today's a new day, man. Right. Like you walk through that door, you have that choice to make up your mind on you control your actions, you control your thoughts. I'm like, you can't compare yourself to the previous you. I was like, you're gonna be chasing your own tail the whole time. And I was like, just concentrate and focus on being, and I say something a little bit different, but like 2% better.
So why 2%? Why do you say 2%?
Because I feel like there's a saying that I heard that's like, be 1%
better every day, right?
And I was like, fuck that. Be 2% better.
You're like, I'm gonna double that shit.
Exactly.
Forget 1%.
Forget
I'm gonna 100% make that better to 2%. That's what I'm gonna do.
I don't know why. And then so one of my clients, she'll tell me, she was like, I almost gave up today, but you know what I thought? I'm going to be 2% better.
Hey, but that's awesome.
Like, hey, that worked. That's awesome.
Yeah.
It's like, what can we bet? Like, you can always be a little bit better than you were the day before. It's like, that's attainable. It's not unrealistic.
But not 1%.
Not 1%.
No.
Don't be basic.
Don't waste your time with 1%.
No pumpkin spice lattes, sir. Sorry for you guys. Pumpkin spice lattes are actually okay. But
I don't drink that stuff.
I don't usually either.
Are you a fan of pumpkin pie?
My dad's pumpkin pie is the bomb.com. Is so
all right,
good.
what does he do?
I can't tell you all the secrets.
Oh, I didn't even tell you maybe I'll have to tell. I didn't even tell you my Ciroc story, but I can tell you that later.
I thought Wait, okay.
Well, I can tell you now.
Okay.
But anyways, back to your dad's pumpkin pie. You're not going to tell me his secrets, or you just really don't know what he does?
No, I know what he does.
Oh, but you're just not going to tell me?
I mean, I could
Well,
tell.
we don't want all 14 people like knowing your dad's secrets. You can tell me when
All
we're
14 people?
done. Right.
There's more than that. Come on now, Scotty.
All 16. Like, well, I mean, like your family will listen, right?
Of course.
Yeah. So now, well, how many?
That's 30.
Dang.
So
Overnight.
there you go, homie.
Yeah.
You're gonna be a rock star.
So, okay, you said you have 2 sisters, right?
I do.
And-
Good memory.
Well, I mean, it's on. I asked you the question. I read the paper. I mean, I wouldn't ask you these questions.
Doesn't mean anything. You could forget.
Fair enough.
People do. You know.
And one of them is 13 years older than you,
Correct.
and the other one is 12 years older than you.
Good job.
Okay, so
Mhm.
they're 1 year apart.
Correct.
Okay, and then 12 years later is you. Well, I mean, you get what I'm saying, right?
Your future
So,
me. Yeah,
so how did that happen? Like, how did like?
I can tell you how that
Yeah,
happened.
I was hoping you could.
Like, do you want to know the details?
No,
Like,
no,
how
no.
would you-
Just a real quick overview. So because like when there's that big of a separation, usually it
Right.
means that like maybe somebody got divorced and remarried, and there's half sisters, half brothers, or I don't, maybe somebody passed away, or like usually there's a reason, or like
yeah.
it's a total accident. Like you never know.
There's a little bit of both.
Okay,
Actually.
all right, fire away,
there
I'm
we
ready.
go. Okay, so we'll go with sister number 1. That's Heather, and she's 12 years older than myself. I met Heather. I didn't meet my sister until I was 13.
What?
And it was
Okay, so you
it
get
was one of those stories. My dad.
23andMe. I'm just kidding.
Maybe.
So what? So did he have? He was married before.
Actually, it was a gal that he dated in high school.
No way.
Yes way. And yeah, I guess they had been dating for a moment, and yeah, she ended up getting pregnant.
So did he know about her, or did he find out about her later?
No, he did. He offered to help. There's a little bit of drama there, and
Is this like in maybe the 70s or so?
Mhm.
So it's a different time too,
yeah,
right?
different time. Yeah, it was actually late. I guess it would be the 70s.
Yeah, somewhere around
in
there,
the 70s, yeah. Yeah, good call. Yeah, in the 70s. And so, yeah, she didn't want anything to do with my dad, unfortunately.
Oh,
And
man.
it was one of those things that my dad always, he always knew that he had a daughter. And he married my mom like in 1978. No, 77. Yeah, 77. They got married. But anyways, so yeah, that was a previous relationship. And then and my sister Heather, I met her when I was 13, and it was one of those, like, we got a phone call. Hey, did you go to Robert E. Lee High School in San Antonio? My dad was like, maybe, yeah. I asked him all these questions. Did you know this person, Kathy Lieberg, and all that stuff? And my dad was like, maybe, yeah. And then, of course, they went through the timeline on the phone, and then he was like, I'm your daughter. And it was like, okay.
What was his reaction? Was he?
He was like, I had a feeling I would get this phone call someday.
That's was he happy about it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like it's,
I mean, he was.
well, I mean, because like
he was like surprised, but not surprised.
Yeah,
You know,
right.
he's like, I knew I would get it eventually, but I remember coming home from school, and my parents telling me, "Well, we have some exciting news to tell you." I was like, "Oh, okay." And
and they go,
it's like,
you're gonna have a sister, and they're like, you're pregnant, and they're like, no, she's already 12. Or, she's already 23.
Yeah, exactly. So I got to meet my sister when I was 13. One of them.
And then the older one.
The other one, that's the one I'm closest to. Her name's Kathy, and she lives in Iowa. My other sister Heather, she lives in Seattle, and Washington State. I don't know why I said that. Washington State. Sorry, they just moved there. But my other sister Kathy, that was the one I was closest to, and she was from my mother's previous marriage, and like. So she was the one she's the one that I'm closest to, and throughout my life, like, there's a period of time where she like exited our life, so to speak, and then came back in, and so, but that's the sister that I know the most.
That's cool though.
Yeah.
I mean, it's interesting.
Yeah.
My family's boring.
Why do you say that?
Well, I mean, my mom.
we all have some interesting
My mom just had sex with my dad twice, and then there was me and my brother, and then that's it. That's over.
Hey,
Yeah.
sometimes it happens like that.
I don't know if it was twice. I'm just in my head. It's twice. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay.
Again, no, it's
you don't
just,
really want to
just
think
twice.
about
No,
your
just
parents,
twice. Yeah, not at all. Not at all. All right. So you did sailing? Am I understanding
I
that?
learned how to sail when I was 10.
Okay. So, but you grew up around here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
And when you say sailing, you mean like, I know it sounds stupid, but like a sailboat, or like sailing where you're standing on that like H-shaped thing with the, like when you say sailing, what
It's
is
a Knacker 5.0. It's a Hobie cat.
Okay, I don't know what any of
All
that.
right. You ever watch Jaws?
Yes.
Like the first Jaws where they're like sailing and they've got the little pontoon boats and they're coming up on the side and it
Yeah.
goes woo like this and they
Yeah,
gotta sail
Yeah.
and they're hanging off the side of it.
Yes.
That's a pontoon boat.
Oh, that's what you sail.
That's what I sail. Mhm.
Okay, so how did you get into that living here?
My dad.
Okay, so but like, did y'all go somewhere?
Yeah, I went out to Lake Travis.
To Lake Travis? Y'all did this on Lake Travis?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I just wouldn't think you'd be able to do something like that on a lake. I don't know why. Like, I would think you would need the ocean, you would need more wind.
I mean, you'd get some decent wind. I mean, have you seen this Texas weather?
Well, yeah, I mean, but it could snow in July. I mean, like we don't know.
Exactly.
So how did
you could
he
have some crazy wind?
How did he get into it?
My dad. Yeah, that's a good question. I want to say he's always done it since he was a kid.
Did he grow up around here too?
He grew up in San Antonio, Texas.
Okay.
But he would, he'd go down, he'd come to Austin, and then I want to say his buddies that he went to, that they all went to San Antonio, the college. I can't think of the name of the college though.
UTSA?
They would come down. I think so. But he only went for a couple of years. But
It's overrated.
No, and then but they would come down to Austin and visit Austin, and then they ended up opening. You remember Van's Auto Parts?
Yeah.
From they opened up in the late 70s. Well, my dad worked for he knew all the Van Schellenbecks.
Oh,
they were all the
wow.
ones that owned the Van's Auto Parts. My dad was one of he was an inventory control supervisor person or whatever. I don't know what the technical term of it is. But he did inventory control, but he worked in the corporate office with all the Van Schellenbecks. But
Wow.
they were all buddies. And so, I mean, I grew up at the lake with all the Van Schellenbecks. And so we were, I grew up with all their kids, all the kids. We all grew up together. We rode jet skis on Saturdays and hung out at the lake. We were a bunch of lake rats. It was fun.
So, I grew up in South Texas, and we didn't have lakes. We just had rivers. And pretty much when I grew up, all we did was kind of kneeboard, and some people would ski and
That's
slalom.
cool.
Well, I mean,
We had skiing, and I'm not any good at that.
But I always wanted to have a boat. I always wanted to be on the lake and stuff like that. I just thought it was so great when people had boats and stuff like that. So when I finally got an opportunity to get a boat, I got a boat,
Yeah.
But now I'm I wish somebody else had a boat, because I'm tired of taking my boat out. I want somebody, because when we were young, I would go out with my friends' boats.
Right.
Right. So it was fun because of course I'm a kid, I have nothing to do. But now as an adult, I'm I just want somebody to take me on their boat. I'm tired of having a boat. But it was one of the things that I wanted to do, because I thought it was so cool to be able to just go to the lake and do those kinds of things.
It was fun. It was just chill.
Especially growing up around here, you know what I mean? With having Lake Travis and stuff like that.
Right.
Absolutely. All right. So
Awesome.
Are you willing to, this is what we call Erin's space oddity helmet. She puts questions in here. There's nothing that'll bite you. There's no hard questions in there.
Okay.
So I'm gonna let you kind of grab one out of there. Real quick.
Okay.
And let's just see what's in there, and you can just shuffle them around and just pick one. I promise they're all baby questions. I don't. If there's something you don't want to answer, we just don't answer it. That's what we do around here. So what does it say?
Oh Lord.
Was it? Oh man, is it that bad or what? No.
It says, what failure have you learned the most from?
Is that too tough of a question?
I can't think of any failures.
Oh, okay. Well then, yeah, we'll just have to pull something else.
No, I'm just kidding. I probably have to think about this one for a moment. Not just.
Well, you know what? We were. I'll go first. How about that? Because we were kind of chit-chatting about this before, and you were asking me about this before, and I think this is really great.
Okay.
So you asked me, like, because we knew each other previous, sort of like we were acquaintances before this.
Right.
And when you came in and we kind of started chit chatting, you said I was different. You remember that?
Yes.
Okay, so why did you feel that? Like, what made you feel like I was different from when you knew me before?
I feel like before you were a little bit more outspoken, maybe like
Than I am now.
no, just a little more like
Opinionated.
ah. What's the right word?
So you want to offend me, just like, like if you're like you could go, you were kind of a dick, and I'd be like, yeah, I probably was. You know what I mean?
I
Like,
mean, you weren't a dick to me.
yeah,
You were
but
nice to me.
but I'm saying like, there was a different vibe, I guess. Like,
yeah, you seem like more like chill, go with the flow now, and before it was more of an intense. And I don't know. I saw more tattoos, but I think it's because you're covering them up.
I got them all.
Yeah,
Okay.
but like I think the idea, I would say more of the persona that I got was more of like a rough around the edges, like more of like a wilder kid, I guess, so to speak, and that might still just be true, but in a different sense, maybe.
Maybe. I mean, my wildness is like, like like throwing my daughter onto like the beanbag,
Right.
like I'm a different kind of wild now. It's like, I pretend to be like a monster kind of stuff.
And
so
you didn't have a beard. I don't think you had a beard.
I was
back
pretty
then.
clean shaven,
Yeah,
like back in the day. Yeah.
Mhm.
So, and I kind of told you, I was like, like kind of going through my divorce is like what really like changed me. And so, I don't look at my divorce as a failure. I don't look as a failure. I just look at it as it's a timeline that I took.
Right.
And I wouldn't be here without that.
Right.
But what I learned inside of that is having a relationship with another person. The more, like, you have to be really selfless, and you really have to try to listen to that person and hear what they're saying, and try not to like get to your head of yourself, and always be learning, because y'all are going to change together. You know what I mean? And I didn't kind of understand that before I got married, and then going through that, and it just kind of being like, you feel pretty low.
Right.
And so to feel that low, I mean, at some point I had to pick myself up.
Yeah.
And I just go, okay, well, how can I not do this again? You know what I mean? And so that became kind of my new goal, to kind of change myself as a person, to make sure that I set good boundaries with people, like, that the things that I need, that I'm empathetic to the way people feel, that I try to listen. I try to listen as much as I possibly can.
Right.
I know what I know. I don't know what you know.
Right.
So I'm here to, you tell me. I try to come to some sort of truth. I try to understand what another person's truth is. And I didn't do any of that before. I thought I was very, what you would call like a covert narcissist.
I remember you mentioning, I was listening to one of your podcasts, and I think you even made a post about it too.
Probably so.
And I was like, so what exactly is a covert narcissist?
It's that.
And how did you come upon, like, was that like a diagnosis you gave to yourself, or was that something that you went to counseling for, or?
Well, I mean, it probably kind of like all the above. Like, so we're all narcissistic. Everybody has narcissism.
Oh, totally.
Right.
Yeah,
and some more than others, and some at
Right.
different times, and some for different reasons.
Right.
Right. And mine came from this very kind of victim mentality, in the sense of like, it was very passive aggressive. And it was like, if you kind of didn't do the thing I wanted you to do, and I got mad at you, I didn't understand why you were mad at me. Like, we're just going to do the right thing. Right. You're just not doing the right thing. I mean, that's all it is. And that was the way I was in my head.
Right. Okay.
Because I'd already decided the way everything would be. That, and if you didn't agree with that, I was like, well, why are you attacking me? Like, I'm all like defensive.
Okay.
Gotcha. And that's a lot of ego. I'm very insecure. I wasn't really comfortable being myself. And just to kind of go through that process of getting divorced and just really strip it. I mean, I really wanted that to work, and I put a lot of effort into it. And then when you're kind of pulled out of it, it's like, oh shit, like, what am I now? Like, what I am, like, who am I? Like I was
Wow.
this, like we were this thing together.
Right.
And now I'm by myself. So what does that mean?
Okay.
And so, and what really helped me was just kind of processing what my wedding day meant, right? Because like you go, okay, for everyone that's married right now,
Yeah.
it's the greatest day of their life, or it should be, or
Right.
that's in theory, right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
So what about people that are divorced? What does that day mean, right?
Right.
And what it meant is at that time, in that moment, that was the greatest day of my life. That was at that moment. It was great. But then life goes forward,
Right.
and you have other great days, and other days change other days to meaning stuff, and stuff means more and means less. You know, I have my daughter. That means a lot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, like, I didn't get stuck, is what I'm saying. Like, I didn't get
Okay.
stuck in the idea of like, I can't explain my divorce to myself. Like, I can't justify what it means in my head. What it was, is it was an outstanding day. We had a really great time. All my friends were there. All my family was there. Everybody it was awesome. You know what I mean? But that was that day.
Got it.
And
Gotcha.
now I'm at this day.
Okay.
And that day doesn't define who I am.
Okay. Good.
Like,
That's healing.
so I had to
man.
pay. Am I paying you now? Like, it's like
I know. I'm
$60 for this therapy session.
I know.
All right. So, do you want to try it now that I've
Of
stolen?
course.
Do you want to try to answer this one? You got something?
I
mean, I know you don't fail, but if you had to like pick
no,
something,
I fail every day.
well, look, I mean,
I'm like, but that's how you grow.
do you okay? So to be like
through
in a
failure, actually,
yeah, right. When you train, do you train a lot to failure?
I try to.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, like, no matter what your rep count is, you're trying to maximize that rep count. So
Right.
I'm somewhere, if you're going for 8 reps, somewhere between 6 and 8, you want to really start like struggling,
Oh,
right?
yeah,
You want to,
definitely.
so like, it's all
Right.
about, I mean, your whole job's about failing,
Yeah.
right?
I mean, essentially, when you look at it from that perspective, yeah.
I mean, you don't
there's-
want to necessarily look at it from that perspective and go like,
Oh,
hey,
really?
come train with me. We're going to fail the whole
We're gonna
time.
fail.
We're going to constantly be failing. We're just going to
It's
fail
gonna be
all over the
great.
place. Yeah, it's going to be great. You're going to
see
really
the
enjoy it.
changes.
You're going to see so many changes from failing.
But you
You just
do.
make a shirt that just says, I'm a failure.
Exactly. I probably should. I'll bring it. You know what? I'll make a koozie.
To bring back and replace the one that you don't.
Yep,
Hey, I
I'll
told
put
you.
sparkles on it too.
Hey, I told you, don't worry about
I
it. Like,
know.
I mean, I didn't know. I was telling my girlfriend before this all started. I was like, I didn't know this koozie thing was going to be such a big deal, because like,
Right.
so the way it started with nailing the koozies on the wall it's like I collected koozies, so I had like hundreds of koozies.
So you're like, we need to put
And so
these
I was
bad
going to
boys
kind of
in.
I was going to do the whole wall. And then when we started doing the podcast, I was like, well, I should make it a thing and get people to sign it. Like, when you go like,
Oh, yeah.
well, I don't know, places where they sign dollar bills and staple them on the ceiling, whatever those places are.
Yeah,
But, make something
small town,
cool.
like bars and stuff.
And I was like, everybody knows what a koozie is. And like, I'll have people that'll go like, I can't find a koozie.
If they
I went
weren't-
to 4 gas stations. I don't like, you
You
knew
know
what it
what?
was and just forgot one.
Well, I did go to one gas station and I asked if they had a koozie. It was a last minute thing because I had one. I couldn't find the Vans Auto Parts koozie.
Oh man, that would have been so
that
great.
would have been so dope. Damn it. I can go back.
You can
and
always
find
bring it back.
I can always bring it back. It's a purple one too, I think.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Anyways, but like you knew what I was talking about. I mean, like I'm not going to call it any names, but there's been people that are just like, a koozie?
Born 1995 and after.
Is that they don't use koozies?
Not usually.
I take
Crickets.
I take a koozie with me everywhere I go. Everywhere I go. I have this saying. It's a man
take a
with a koozie.
A tumbler
Hey.
or a Yeti cup.
But
is
that's what Erin said. She goes, people don't have koozies because they use like
Yetis.
Yetis. And I was like, so like,
No, bring on the koozie.
you can't put no Yeti in your pocket.
That's true. Well, if you got like cargo pockets, maybe.
Can you imagine a guy walking with like 2 Yetis and each one? And
Hey.
It's like he has 2 giant like whelps on the side of his legs
So
inside
he'd
the
have
cargo.
I'm not gonna say it.
Well,
It's-
okay, you would date a guy that wears cargo pants, yes or no? Is it too out of style? Are you into style? Like, do you like a guy to be stylish?
I thought
Are
cargo
these fair
pants were in
questions?
style. Are cargo
No,
pants
I mean-
not in style?
Okay, so okay, let's back up. Do you notice things that guys wear?
Yes,
Okay,
but apparently I'm.
but
I didn't
hey,
know
but
about
cargo pants might not be your thing. That might not be your thing. So what's the one thing a guy wear and
What
you're
you-
just like, nope, visor?
No,
You no visor, or
No
you're
visor.
cool with visors?
no.
No, nobody's cool.
I mean, unless he plays like volleyball.
He's got to flip it upside down though and turn it
Oh,
backwards.
there we go. Yeah.
That's the only way you're doing
I
that.
gotcha. Yeah.
Okay, so what is
Okay.
something that like a guy wears? You're just like, nope, I'm not even gonna give you a chance.
Man. The too tight skinny jeans
Okay, what's too tight?
where it looks like they could split their pants,
So,
and you could probably
so
you could
this is
probably see things. I don't know.
look,
We
is this
can edit that out.
we're editing this thing all over the place.
This whole thing, you have to cut it out.
Okay, so hang on really quickly. So like you obviously like you're a trainer, you work out, you're doing a competition, you stay in shape. So I'm assuming you like to date guys that are in shape. That would make sense, right?
Mm-hmm.
So guys that like are really good shape usually have kind of big legs. So like, I mean, there's a whole group of guys that are going to be on like the borderline of spray pant, too tight pants, because their legs are big. You know what I mean?
True.
I've seen that guy. I know that guy you're talking about though. I've seen him before.
It's
I'm
almost
scared.
like when you try too hard. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
like, come on,
I'm
man.
like
Like-
I openly
Like they make the pants can stretch. They don't need to be spray painted on.
well, but you know, like a lot of those are like
I say that, and I'm sitting here wearing like.
But girls can
fitted,
wear-
but girls,
That's
girls
totally-
can wear it, but guys can't.
girls. I mean, girls.
You can bleep that one out.
Jason's gonna be so busy. Oh, don't even like. The best part is like when we're on here and someone will go, they'll say the shit. Oh, they're like, oh, can I curse? I'm like, yeah, man. Like we're not nobody.
Mhm.
We're all 44 people. You said 30 people in your family.
Yeah,
44 people that are listening
that's right.
to just this episode. All right. Do you want to? We want to shoot for one more question out of the
All right.
helmet.
Okay, here we go. Let's
You want
see.
me to pull it, or you want to pull it?
I'll
You
pull
feel
it.
okay? I like
Let's
that
see
you're
if I
feeling
can-
lucky. I can't believe I threw that hard of a question in there.
That's okay. It's not that. I mean, I think I'm just. I don't know. I could say like my biggest failure was.
We got to say it to the microphone.
Oh gosh.
We're not okay. We're not. Just hey, just cut that out. Just leave that. Just edit that out.
Edit that.
Edit that out. All right. What do you got? What'd you
Okay.
pull?
Oh.
See, okay, that's good. That's a better start than the last one. Yeah.
I'm like, oh shit. No. What is one quality you look for in a friend?
Perfect. That'll roll right into everything we're talking about.
All right. One quality.
Who?
I think I
who's-
made a post about this. I don't know about.
Oh, well,
2
look at
weeks
there.
ago. I think so. Anyway.
Who is? You don't have to call him out. You have a best friend.
I do actually. I have a couple. Is
Well,
that
then
okay?
you-
Is that like
No, I don't. I
some
think.
people could like how can you have 2 or 3 best friends? I was like, I think you for different reasons and
Well,
different
this
time
is what I would.
periods.
This is what I would say.
you
I
know.
would say that's a more appropriate response, because you should have handfuls of good friends that like really kind of different ones do different things,
Mm-hmm.
and that kind of little click and circle kind of
Mhm.
keeps you whole, and you keep them like it's like a tribal kind of thing,
Yeah,
right?
it's a try.
Like having one. I mean, it's nothing wrong with having a best friend,
Mm-hmm.
but you have to remember you're just getting one perspective.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so,
Right.
like, I mean, maybe you should have a couple of good friends.
Oh yeah.
Anyways.
Definitely. I'm totally for that.
All right. So anyway, go ahead. Sorry. No.
Oh no, you're fine. You're asking me how many. Wait, how many
you're
friends are we
asking
going
me.
on the question?
Yeah.
Wait. What? Okay. Let's see. One quality. I would say. I mean, I think it's. I was gonna say one that shows up, but I mean, I guess it's really one that. I mean, I'd say someone that accepts you for you. I mean, that sounds kind of. We could
No, I
probably
don't-
we can dive a little bit more into that, but
I think. Correct me if I'm
I would
wrong.
say loyalty is really big too. But correct you if you're wrong. What? So go for
I
it.
was just going to say,
Mm.
when you say someone that, like, you can be, they allow you to be yourself, and you allow them to be themselves.
Oh yeah.
And that and nothing else. It comes with loyalty and honesty and all
Oh,
those
yeah.
things, because that's what being yourself in front of that person
Mhm.
means, that you can make mistakes and they don't judge and like all that kind of stuff. So it's like
Right.
it's this all inclusive thing. I think that's
Yeah.
great. I think that's what a real a real relationship's like kind of built on.
Oh yeah,
Right.
definitely.
Like mine would be kind of similar. Like I was gonna say like someone that's authentic. Like I need you to be like authentic, but it's really just like be like you said, like be yourself. Like be
Yeah.
the most authentic version of yourself.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So then that way
Mm-hmm.
you don't have to pretend to be anybody and I don't have to pretend to like it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah.
I like that.
That's yeah.
that one-
It's an easy one. It's the one and one's right in front of your face.
I feel like I
You
wrote,
wanna
like, some
do another one?
Some softballs in here. Like
Oh, yeah.
let me just like
You're like, that
I'm
was
just gonna keep-
way too
no,
easy.
I was just like I was trying to see. This is the
All
this
right,
is the one
you
I
want to do that one?
Yeah,
Okay,
let's do this one.
Here we go. Am I putting this back in the helmet?
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, do you write individual questions for every person that you
No,
that
what
comes
what
in,
I
or do you
do
just
is
cycle through?
so
or just,
one Aaron
as-
writes the questions,
oh, okay,
right?
I like that.
And then
sound.
two, what I do is this isn't all of them. I have a bunch, and then I just kind of read them before the podcast starts, and I kind of go, I don't know. I want to answer. Like I'd want to answer this today, and so I just pick out. Oh, you're fine.
I don't like
I
to
just pick
crunch
out
on the
like
mic.
something. I pick out something that like just seems interesting for that day.
Okay.
But I just like there's like 20 or 30 of them or whatever.
Okay.
Oh. Now
This is off
now
to
I'm
a
feeling weird.
Why
forget
you
that
feel
one.
weird? This
I'm
is
just gonna-
safe.
I'm
This
just
is
gonna-
a
look, I'm just gonna-
safe space.
Look, I'm just gonna pull them out and I'm gonna pick out the one that I want because
Okay.
this is my podcast,
This is mine.
so I can do whatever
There you
whatever I want. All right,
go. Okay.
I'm gonna put some. You'll know the answer to this question though.
Okay.
Describe yourself in 3 words. You already know one because you're laughing. So like, what's that first one? Go ahead and tell me.
Oh, I would say kind.
I'd say kind.
Kind. Quirky.
You really feel like you're that quirky?
I don't know. I've been told that, and I think that sometimes I don't know certain things. The way I think I feel is a little bit.
Let me ask you
Different.
this: do you feel quirky, or do you just feel like yourself?
I feel like I'm myself, but then I get like.
You understand why people think that might be quirky?
I guess so. I don't. Let's see. It's a 3.
Look, I know I'm extra. Like I know I'm sitting over here with like blue shoes and blue sunglasses, and I know I'm extra, but I'm totally comfortable being this like version of myself,
Really?
right? Yeah.
I mean, I think it's cool. I mean,
But you see, but like I don't.
Like what? I don't.
But-
I
but-
don't-
But that's what I'm saying. Like you know what I mean? It's like you're not quirky. You're just you. That's just you. I've
Okay.
never thought you were quirky.
Oh, okay.
But I don't know. Like I mean,
Like,
is
you're
it- are
getting to
you-
know me right now.
well, I was gonna say, do you do something quirky that I don't know? Like, do you have a
My
quirkiness
thought
thing?
process, I guess, has been I've been told I've kind of have a quirky sense of humor.
At least it's not boring.
Oh, hell yeah.
All right.
Like nobody wants that.
All right. You got one more word to describe. it.
Oh, let's see. 3 words. I don't even know. Maybe I should throw quirky out the window.
No, we're keeping quirky's already in. You've already
Okay.
submitted quirky. It's already in.
Okay, quirky. Let's see. First one, kind, quirky.
This is your chance to be like totally just conceited and just be like, I'm wonderful.
I would say.
I would say
I don't know. I don't give up. I'm a person.
resilient.
Resilient. Yeah, I would say that.
And I would say, so where do you think that resiliency like came from?
My mom.
Is she still alive?
No,
Oh, did she pass away?
2010.
Okay. So sorry for your loss. I know it's been a while, but
That's
sorry for
okay.
your loss.
Yeah.
What was
Happens.
so she was the resilient one.
Yeah, I would say so.
What's kind of like the one thing that you remember like about her, like that kind of taught you that resiliency?
I would say, I mean, my mom was always a fighter. Like she'd gotten a couple physical fights, but that's another story.
Hey,
That's no, but she was always like she was real fiery and passionate, just in everything that she did, and like she would find a way to make whatever happen happen. Like
Yeah.
she was definitely, she always took action. She stood behind what she said. I think I'm getting off the subject of
No, you're okay.
resilience.
Yeah, good.
I mean, it kind of, I guess it all intertwines, but I mean, she was in like freaking, God knows, at least 4 or 5 accidents, and she didn't ever die. There's like
I mean, so she was physically resilient.
like physically and mentally resilient. She was supposed to be dead in 1991 in a car accident, left for like to bleed out, and she totally survived.
Wow.
Like, I mean, just almost lost her leg, almost lost her like almost bled out, and she was found, and like that was like, and she had brain damage and everything, and she survived it.
Was she the kind of person that really? I would say, I get the impression you really appreciate life. Like you really feel kind of blessed to do the things you do and have what you write.
Absolutely.
Every
day.
Did a lot of her kind of like just kind of that aggressive resilience and like all the things that happen, did it make her kind of just like really appreciate like life and just be present, I guess?
Yes, I would definitely say that. Yeah, she would always show up. I guess that was another thing like from earlier. Those were the 3 the characteristic you'd want in a friend.
Mm-hmm.
My mom was always there. She was always there for her friends, always there for her family, always like you needed her to be there, and she was always there. So she kind of taught me about in my relationships and my friendships that like you might be a few minutes late, but you still show up.
Well, I mean, it's the one thing you can like do for free that's the most impactful to people around you.
Yeah.
Right.
Just show up.
Just show up, be able to help, offer.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
My mom would help. She would help. Like she'd probably help. She'd help a complete stranger. She was very kind. She was a very kind woman.
Awesome.
She just had a good heart.
What was her name?
Her name was Angel.
Angel. R.I.P. Angel. That sounds so crazy.
Yeah.
How'd she get the name Angel?
So the name she was like her real name, was oh gosh, I was thinking about my sister because like my sister has like her middle name, Linda Kathleen Chincola.
Okay.
Maiden name, but then when she married my dad, it was Linda Kathleen. It's Linda Mill, but
so how did she get to Angel?
So she got to Angel. There were 3 Lindas that worked at the Winds in Round Rock back in the 80s. There was a Winds, you know where that the Planet Fitness and the Washateria and the Bells used to be, and that shopping center in Round Rock. Well, there used to be a Winds, right where the Goodwill and the Planet Fitness, that area, that used to be a Winds.
Right.
And then a couple doors down was Best Hardware. My mom worked at Winds, and then she was the manager at Best Hardware, which was 2 doors down after that. But at Winds, at Winds, it was like I guess it was kind of like a higher, Winds was back in the day, like a higher up, like, I would say a higher up, like Bells or something that from back in the day. But yeah,
back where we got all our clothes from.
Yeah, exactly. It's like kind of like that solo serve thing, but yeah, so they, so there was 3 Lindas that worked there, and so they said that my mom looked like an angel, and so they always called her Angel. And I mean, it's not like, I don't know how special of a story is, but I mean, it's pretty special because she was like that.
Well, I mean, yeah. I mean,
and I always called her Mom, so not Angel.
My nephew's name is Maverick, and I always say, like, I mean, he's got to be a badass to carry around the name Maverick. You can't just go around being a Maverick.
No.
You got to be.
You got to be like badass. If you're gonna have that
and
name.
if
the name has to
if
fit.
you're named Angel,
you better be
fucking sweet,
or you better be the exact opposite.
Yeah, it would be really odd.
It's like, Angel, yeah, I bet.
Yeah.
Okay, Tiny.
So usually how I like try to wrap this thing up is this. I usually just ask my guests kind of like, So this whole idea is just like about like moderating your life and like trying to like live in the extremes. And so I just asked my guests what they do to like take care of themselves, how they moderate their life, especially like, and you're in the middle of like doing a competition and like, so, well, you know, hey, admittedly, it's early and that's water. So what do we, I mean, all that's water.
That's
the whole
Topo
thing.
Chico, guys.
Yeah, come on. Like, you shouldn't be drinking, prepping for a competition, not a trainer.
Never.
And hopefully your trainer's not watching this. He's not like,
No.
Yeah, we're not even going to tell him about it. This didn't even happen.
We're not.
It's not even on the internet.
Actually, when it does happen, it'll be about a month beforehand.
Oh, dang.
So you could blackmail me. You could be like,
well, no, but you'll be like way hangry by then.
Probably.
You'll be way like just doing lots of cardio by then. You'll be doing tons of cardio.
Hopefully,
at that
not
point,
as much.
you'll be like, I just need to remember a time when I was happy in that garage, like because I don't feel like that right now. I'm hangry. I want to kill somebody, right? I'm just so glad that you're at the beginning of your prep and not at the end. Because if you came in at the end where you're just drinking water and eating 4 peanuts a day or whatever y'all do, what bodybuilders do.
You're
anyways,
so funny. You get a little bit more than that.
Yeah, I'm just kidding. No.
I know.
You get like 2 pieces of salmon. That's it.
That's all.
You get two sushi pieces, and that's it.
Sushi's not in the plan.
What?
No.
You can't have sushi?
I mean, I can have like sashimi.
Oh, that's what I meant.
Okay.
No rice is what you're saying.
Right.
Okay.
But I do have rice. I just can't have the sticky rice because that has extra sugar in it.
These are things I don't even know about.
Yeah.
I'll get done with this and eat peanut butter. So don't out of the jar.
Oh, really?
I'm not trying to make you hungry.
Are you like a 1, 2, or 3 spooner?
Oh, I'm like.
Or do you eat the whole thing?
No. I don't eat the whole thing, but I'll shave down a good part of the jar. You know what I mean? But I kind of just scrape the top and just like, I don't do like big spoonfuls.
But you probably make sure that it's all the way even so you scrape it on evenly.
Yeah.
You can't just leave like divots.
Do you know why I do that though?
Consistency.
Well, there's that, right? And there's like.
Are you a crunchy or a creamy guy?
Well, I've been trying different types of peanut butters because I eat it like just by itself and trying to find the ones that are low in sugar, no added sugar, things like that actually taste good and stuff. So right now I'm on this one. I think it's called, shout out to like, I think it's called Fatso. I think that's what it's called.
Fatso?
Mm-hmm.
Is it spelled like PHATSO?
No, it's like FATSO or something like that. But it's like some sort of sea salted.
Where is it made?
I don't know. We'll have to look at. I just got it, but it's one of those like $10 jars of peanut butter. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, so it's like worth $10, huh?
Well, I mean, it's caramel sea salt.
Oh, is it?
And it's already like mixed, so it's like nuts with oil, but it's like, you know how like it's all messed up and you have to like mix it.
So is it like a cookie butter type?
No,
of thing?
It's not like cookie butter.
Okay, I mean, you're throwing me off with this whole caramel sea salt.
I'll show you.
Wow, fancy.
But so I'll just kind of eat little spoonfuls of that.
Okay,
and that's as best I could do. I've tried like
little spoonfuls.
Sugar is my weakness. That is my total downfall is sugar. I have the hardest time with it. So
what would you say is your favorite?
Favorite sugar?
Like favorite type of like form of sugar? Like, are you a candy guy? Or
Ice
are you
cream,
like
100%.
Ice cream, okay.
But I do non-dairy ice cream.
Oh, so like the coconut dream or?
Yes, but I will tell you, there is. So if you haven't had this, and I don't care what kind of ice cream you eat, you need to go try this ice cream. It's so delicious, which it's like they're.
Oh, S.O., right?
Right, S.O., right. Yeah, so delicious.
Coconut.
And they do, no, it's like sea salt and caramel cookie dough or something like that. Okay. It's the only one that says sea salt and caramel. Not only is it the best ice cream I've ever had, when you eat ice cream, if you eat kind of a lot of it, it's got that, it feels heavy, like that cream and stuff, because it's like almond milk, I think. You don't have that heaviness.
Oh, okay.
So you don't feel bad when you eat it, and then I don't do dairy, so.
Gotcha. So, I don't either.
Oh, so like if I go and they have like
almond or oat milk,
I'll buy like 5 pints. I'll just buy I'll buy all the ones they have and just put them in the freezer.
Do the kiddos like them too?
She's just now getting into like
kiddos. I keep thinking
no. There's only one.
There's only one.
Yeah.
Hey, Aaron. No.
Yeah. No. We're one and done. I am not doing that again. It just I don't want to be 80 and trying to keep up with like a 20-year-old. Like I'm doing this late enough as it is. You know what I mean? By the time she's like 20, I'll be like 66.
Wait. Are you 42?
I am 40. I'm going to be, well, by the time this comes out, I will be 46.
Oh, okay.
And she is
Okay.
like barely like 1.5.
Okay.
So like I got a long way to go, you know?
It's not late. You're fine.
I mean, that's why I work out now. That's a whole, like, that's why I reward myself with sugar, is because I'm busy doing yoga.
Okay. So is that your form of working out now? Is that what you're doing? Or
I have a whole thing that I
because
do.
you're training also too.
I have a whole kind of routine that I do.
Try your Liquid Death.
Yeah, absolutely. Shout out to Liquid Death that doesn't sponsor me, but like, but you've had them before, right?
Maybe I have.
And they're great, right?
I think I had the black one though.
But that's just it's the other one's sparkling. That's just non-sparkling.
I went foo-foo, so I got the black one. I don't think I've had the white one.
I just like the regular water in a can. Anyway.
Okay.
So before we got derailed into my peanut butter, I was saying, so what do you do to take care of you, especially like when you're training for a competition? Like, how do you take care of yourself to make sure that you're good for your clients and like good for your relationships with your friends and stuff like that? So like, how do you create moderation to make your life balanced?
Definitely get enough sleep in.
So are you a big sleep person?
I wish I was. I'm starting to
understand the value of sleep.
Understand the value of sleep. Big time. I don't function if I don't sleep very well.
Yeah.
It's got to be, I have to at least have on the minimum 6 hours.
Oh.
On the minimum 6 hours. But I can't pull 4 and 5 hour freaking, like hours of sleep. I don't function very well.
What time do you take your first client?
I start at 6 a.m.
Okay. So, and then when do you take your last client? Like when do you train?
I'm usually not out until 8:30 at night, which kind of puts, like, I have really hardly any social life whatsoever.
Yeah. I mean, so when you're training,
like
when you're training those kind of hours, it gets hard to get sleep because by the time you get home and now it's 9:30 and you got to get to bed at 10 because you're going to be up at 5. And it's you have to really kind of focus in on your sleep. It's real hard too. Right. And you want to have, like you said, like you want to have some sort of other life. Like you don't want to just train.
Otherwise, you'll get burned out really quickly, very quickly.
Are you a yoga person? Do you do yoga?
I actually need to do more yoga. I go in spurts, which just means once every 5 months.
Yeah, you can.
But I need to do more than that. I definitely because since my injury from last year, I've been foam rolling, cupping, which I have octopus marks all over my body, all over my shoulder, my back. But
are you a big believer in cupping?
I am.
Okay, and so why does someone need to do cupping? Like what benefit do you get from that?
I mean, you know what? Because I've tried almost everything. I mean,
to relieve pain, you mean?
To relieve pain, correct.
Acupuncture? I've
tried acupuncture too. I've had a bad experience with acupuncture also.
We don't have to throw that guy or girl under the bus. Back to the good cupping.
Back to the cupping.
Yeah.
So I was only actually newly introduced to cupping almost a year ago, and I've been doing it now. Well, recently it's been more consistent over the last month, and I've noticed just greater range of motion, with my shoulders, I carry a lot of tension in my traps and in my right lat, but it was so bad to the point where I was crooked,
cattywampus, right?
I could totally you could see it in my assessments where it's totally off.
And for you in opposing sport, it's very important for you to look symmetrical, correct?
Correct. Yeah. You have to have symmetry, but then also the way I was sleeping and when you have tension and you're not using the proper recovery methods,
right?
It's going to affect your sleep. It's going to affect the way you move. It's going to affect the way you train. It's just it's going to affect, it's like a domino effect. So you got to make sure that you take care of your body, make sure that you're, the workouts are important, but the recovery, I tell my clients this, the recovery is just, if not more important, almost more important than your workout.
Right.
Because it's if you're working out, but you're so locked up, and you're not doing anything to help alleviate the pain or to help break that shit up that you're going and you're trying to build muscle or you're trying to get in shape. And it's but if you're, once you break down the muscle, then obviously there's going to be some knots,
right?
That, some tension that develops, and you've got to be able to get the kinks out, so to speak.
Right. I'm sure like you're a big component. Water, super important.
Oh yeah,
You do.
definitely.
Yeah.
At least half of your body weight.
Yeah.
I mean, that's usually my recommendations. Drink at least half. Know that in the summer months
And booze.
and what?
If you're drinking booze, you gotta
Oh
drink.
my
You gotta drink. You gotta drink
God.
more water if
I
you're
do
drinking
not.
booze.
Yes,
That's what I was.
definitely. I
No,
thought
I
you
was
were gonna
not
say
calling.
more.
You're
I thought
not
you were gonna
drink. You're
say-
not drinking booze. I'm saying that people
No,
that
I
drink
thought you were gonna
booze.
say. I thought you were gonna like drink more booze.
No. Yeah. Drink more
Drink
booze.
half of your body weight.
Drink half
in
your body
booze.
weight in booze and half your body
Just
weight in
saying.
water, and you'll be just fine.
Be
No,
just fine.
no. So, water, like especially like when you're training and doing the type of training you do, water is uber important.
Mhm.
I would think, right?
Right.
Because
Oh,
I mean,
definitely.
you're really beating your body up through these workouts. Like you're really breaking
You're
down
training 6
tissue,
days
right?
a week.
Yeah.
2 to 3 hours a day that you're training.
All right. So I think I think this is a part of moderation, and I've never done a show or anything like that before. But do you do cheat meals in your training, like when you're training for a show, or you do no cheat meals?
It depends on what the coach says.
Okay. What does your coach right now say?
Yeah.
He say no cheat meals?
No cheat meals.
Oh, come on, man. Are you kidding? What's this guy's name?
Justin.
That's not even fair. Come on, Justin. This is
Look
what.
at you.
Well, if this what like once again, by the time this probably comes out, you'll be you'll be real close. So like you can't have no cheat meals then.
I mean, well, he might. I mean, it just depends. Like,
Okay, so
depends on the direction of where your physique is headed.
okay, let's back it up a little bit. So
Okay.
like when you're probably like just working out, you're not training for anything like a show
No.
or anything like
Mhm.
that. You probably still keep a pretty decent diet, I would think, right? Like you
Oh,
eat
yeah.
well, right? Okay.
Everything
So
in moderation.
right. So I'm sure you treat yourself.
Oh, yeah.
Right. So what is your we're gonna end on what is your like go-to like cheat meal? What is like if you get or how many shows you say you did? 10?
This is going to be the 10th one.
Okay. So
Been 9
maybe
so
what's
far.
like when you get done with that show, are you one of those people like you go straight for something like there is something that you've been wanting after that show? What is your like kind of go-to like cheat meal type thing? Or like when you finish a show, you're like, let's just go eat some cake. Or like, you always see people that like when they finish like shows,
Oh, no, I know.
they just eat anything like donuts and they're just eating anything.
Right. Like, I feel like every show is every show is different. Like
Yeah.
it's, yeah, I mean, like the last meal, I think all I just wanted pancakes. the whole
Really?
time. That's it. I just wanted pancakes.
It's almost
I
like
wanted
it's
an omelet and pancakes, but I guess because you do them enough and you know that like if you go overboard, you're gonna get sick
yeah.
or you're gonna get like. For me, I'll get like a serious
Like-
case of edema, like just swelling.
Wow.
To the point where I'm so
That's not
uncomfortable.
fun.
It's not fun at all.
Yeah.
And it's just like, you're like, yeah, you're gonna go out and you're gonna drink a little bit and you're gonna. It's like, no, I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not. I'm like, it hurts. Like it hurts to go and eat a bunch of sugar and a bunch of crap. Like, you know what I mean? Like, of course, like if you're the day of the show, your water intake is like,
Minimal, right?
maybe 12 ounces.
For the
12
entire day.
Yeah,
Yeah.
about
And that's not-
12. To say it's not a healthy sport, but then again, it's not. You're not signing up for it for like.
So how long
health
do
reasons,
you
But I hate to even say this, just because there's.
are you announcing
been-
your retirement right now after this show? Is this are you
No,
oh, okay.
no.
Oh, I thought you were.
No,
I thought we are getting an exclusive.
no,
You
I was
announcing your
getting-
retirement
no.
from.
Oh, I'd like to get my pro card. That would be cool.
Is that your
That's
ultimate
not
goal?
retirement, but that's like the ultimate goal is to get my pro card.
So really quickly before we go? So like what does that entail? Like how are you close? Like I don't know anything about the sport really. So like are you close to getting your pro card? What do you have to do to get it?
So you have to become nationally qualified,
hmm
and so you have to go to a nationally qualified show.
Okay.
And you have to place, usually it's top 3.
Okay.
So in your class.
Okay.
Now they did do it. I'm not sure if they do it anymore in the NPC or not, but I don't think that they do this anymore. But I believe the rules of the game have changed. But they used to, there was a possibility you could win your pro card if you, and I don't think this is true anymore, but where if you placed first in your class, of course, and then you came back and you placed like one first overall, meaning you beat out all the other first place winners in their specific class.
You had like a clean sweep, like a full
Right,
house,
correct.
right? Yeah.
if you did that and you won, overall for, for your division, either like bikini or figure or wellness. I do figure. But if you win for that, overall, then you used to be able to get your pro card. Now I believe the rules of the game have changed where I don't believe that they're doing that anymore as of, I feel like at least as of a year ago. Now it's, you could win overall, you could get, or first in your class. And then you would that would qualify you for nationals and you would go
You'd have to
compete.
win there.
You'd have to win there.
Man.
And then, so it's like you're,
I'm like, come on! I just kicked everybody's ass at this place. You can't let me in. You know what I mean? I just beat everybody in every division of everything. Come on, ridiculous.
But yeah, so then you go to you go to nationals and and you win first in your class there. But I've never been to nationals.
So,
I've been nationally qualified 3 times, but I've not gone to nationals. And usually an injury or something happens.
So is this show that you're fixing to do, does that put you on the track for that? Is it
Yes.
Okay, so
it'll put me. So if I do,
we're just putting out the good vibes right
putting
now.
out the good vibes. Yay.
Yeah, this will like once again, this will be coming out right when you're really hangry and you're just hating life and you're just like, man, good vibes. I'm gonna do this.
Good vibes.
It'll be the motivator. So
Amen.
Besides the stuff that we have to edit out, did you have a good time?
I had a great time.
Besides all the editing that you'll never know if we really edited it out or not, did you have a good time?
Until I go back and I listen to the podcast.
Oh, it'll be totally fine. No, I mean, nothing's really happened that's been like major. I mean, I don't even. We'll find out. You won't find out. You will find out, but you won't find out.
Wow. Okay.
We'll know. We will know, but they won't know.
Oh, okay.
It will be exclusive material that nobody can see. It'll be locked in the vault. Well, thank you so much for doing this. I really appreciate it.
Of course.
I usually give everybody a hug. You can push that mic out, like you don't have to dodge around it.
Like
this
that. Way?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I usually give everybody a hug.
Oh my gosh, amazing.
Thank you for doing this. I really appreciate it.